6 boundaries men set that turn women on. Psychology facts. Old Stoic Wisdom. Love is composed of a single soul inhabiting 2 bodies. Aristotle. Here's a truth most men discover too late. Setting boundaries doesn't repel women, it captivates them. Not the manipulative kind, not control disguised as confidence. Real boundaries, the kind forged from inner strength, self-respect, and a clear sense of who you are. In this video, we'll explore 6 timeless boundaries that spark deep attraction, not because they're power plays, but because they bring clarity. These principles aren't new. They echo ancient Stoic wisdom and are reinforced by modern psychology. When a man stands firm in these, the right kind of woman doesn't pull away. She steps closer, drawn to the stability and depth behind them. Pay close attention to the 6th boundary. It's more than just protective. It reshapes how she sees you and how she sees herself when she's with you. Let's dive in. 1. The unavailable advantage. When you embrace the unavailable advantage, you're doing far more than setting boundaries. You are defining your worth, your value, and ultimately your power. Your time is one of your most precious assets, and how you manage it speaks volumes about who you are. In the beginning, this may feel risky, almost dangerous. You don't jump at every text message, and you don't immediately rearrange your life when she calls. Instead, you take a step back, resist the urge to be constantly available, and let her wonder where you are, what you're doing, and who you are spending your time with. At first, you might worry. Won't she lose interest? Won't she think I don't care? The answer is the opposite of what you might expect. When you step back, you show her that your time is valuable and that you have a purpose beyond just being at her beck and call. In essence, you signal that you are not here to serve her every whim, but instead, you are a man with direction and priorities. And when you do this, something powerful happens. She starts to see your world, not just hers. You draw her into your life, not by chasing her, but by standing firm in your own commitments. That subtle tension you create, that small element of mystery, becomes magnetic. This is not manipulation. This is power, and it's the type of power that comes from being grounded in your own identity and principles. The Old Stoic wisdom has taught us the importance of mastering our own desires, maintaining control over our impulses, and acting with purpose. A man who is always available to others signals that he has nothing to offer but his time, his attention, and his validation. That's not attractive. It's desperation disguised as eagerness. But when you show that your time is finite and your presence is earned, you become rare. And in that rarity, you become valuable. The law of scarcity is at play here. When something is hard to come by, its value increases. A woman will be drawn to the man who makes her work for his attention, because he's not just available to anyone. He's selective about where he invests his time, and that makes him stand out in a world that often mistakes availability for affection. Think about it. When you are constantly available, you communicate that your life revolves around the other person. This is a mistake. You are telling her that your priorities are secondary and your life is empty. And we both know that an empty life is not attractive to anyone, least of all a woman looking for a man with strength, character, and ambition. But when you embrace your purpose and show that you are committed to your own goals, whether that's work, personal growth, hobbies, or friendships, she begins to see the value in being part of your life. She starts to realize that her time with you is limited, and in that limitation, it becomes special. That's the power of creating boundaries. When done with intention, it elevates both your self-respect and her attraction to you. When you cultivate an iron mind, when you strengthen yourself mentally and emotionally, you're essentially applying Stoic principles to your relationships. The Stoics taught us to value our time, to preserve our energy, and to keep our emotions in check. These principles give you the strength to stand firm in the face of external pressures. You don't bend because someone demands your attention or validation. You maintain a steady course, focused on your own goals and values, and in doing so, you create a presence that cannot be ignored, because it is deliberate and powerful. It is the foundation of a life that isn't built on pleasing others, but on serving your own vision and purpose. This is what makes you a rare find, not just in relationships, but in life. A man who honors his own time and prioritizes his own needs will inevitably attract a woman who values those same qualities. She will begin to see you as a partner, someone who is capable of being strong and reliable without being at her beck and call. And that's the type of relationship that has depth and long-lasting appeal. Remember this: by mastering the art of boundaries, by practicing the Old Stoic principles of controlling your time and desires, you are not just avoiding the trap of over-availability. You are becoming the type of man who commands respect, admiration, and genuine attraction. Do not be afraid to be unavailable. It's not a sign of disinterest. It's a sign of self-respect and strength. 2. The authority silenced. Don't explain, just decide. Let's circle back to number. The most magnetic men don't waste words. They don't over-explain, nor do they apologize excessively or try to justify every decision they make. Instead, they lead by example, carrying themselves with the authority that stems from clear, confident actions. When you over-explain yourself, you're not clarifying, you're subconsciously seeking permission. You're losing your edge. The Stoic rules teach us that we don't need to justify our existence. We simply act. The idea is simple. Take control and let your presence speak for itself. In an age where words are often cheap, the ability to say less while commanding respect is a valuable trait. A quick, direct response is far more powerful than a drawn-out explanation or apology. Imagine telling someone, "I won't be able to make it, but let's catch up later." It's assertive, it shows decisiveness, and it leaves no room for ambiguity. In relationships, this principle is essential. Women are drawn to men who are decisive. They don't want to wait for a man to second-guess himself, or worse, try to convince her with endless words. Whether in business or in life, the way you communicate is a reflection of how well you understand the Stoic principles of self-control and practical stoicism. It's not about being cold or distant. It's about being in control and having the clarity to make decisions without overcomplicating things. You don't need to drown the room in explanations. The power is in your presence, your authority, and your ability to simply act. Confidence isn't loud. It's efficient. It's about the silent moments, the ones where you make a choice and let it stand. No justification needed. A man who follows Stoic rules understands that his actions speak louder than his words. Don't waste time trying to explain everything. Each over-explanation makes you appear unsure, as though you're trying to seek validation for your choices. A person who's grounded in practical stoicism knows that every decision is an opportunity to assert his authority. Think about the way you respond to others. Do you tend to offer explanations for everything? Do you constantly apologize for your actions? Stop. The more you explain, the weaker you appear. Instead, let your choices define you. Stand by your decisions with confidence, and you'll see how much more attractive your self-assuredness becomes. Real power is in silence and in action. Saying less but meaning more sends a message to everyone around you that you are someone worth listening to. Don't beg for respect. Earn it by acting decisively and clearly. Your actions should speak volumes, and this doesn't just apply in romantic relationships. The same principle works in your professional life. When you step into a room, whether it's a business meeting or a social gathering, your presence should be commanding. People should sense that you are confident, clear, and decisive. Practice this daily, and you'll notice the shift in how people perceive you. Start applying practical stoicism in your interactions. Don't over-explain. Don't over-apologize. Let your actions and decisions carry the weight of your presence. As you go about your day, ask yourself, am I over-explaining? Am I justifying my actions to others? Or am I simply acting and letting the results speak for themselves? Every time you catch yourself over-explaining, take a step back. This is where the real power lies, in the pause. In a world that's constantly talking, the one who speaks less, but more purposefully, will always hold the advantage. And remember, this doesn't mean being rude or dismissive. It means trusting in your decisions, standing firm, and not feeling the need to convince anyone of your worth. The more you apply these Stoic rules, the more you'll see your confidence grow, both in the eyes of others and in your own self-awareness. If you want to master the art of silence and command respect, stop over-explaining and start acting with authority. Let your decisions speak louder than your words. If you agree with this, drop a comment right now. I lead with action, not words. Like this video, subscribe for more unshakable wisdom, and remind yourself daily. Confidence is built in silence, not justification. 3. The respect reflex. Let's talk about boundaries, the silent markers of strength that define a man. One of the most powerful boundaries a man can set is around respect. Don't be fooled into thinking that respect is only about grand gestures or loud confrontations. No, true power lies in the quiet moments. Disrespect is often subtle, an eye roll, a sarcastic comment, or a dismissive remark thrown casually in front of others. If you let these small slights slide, you're not being chill. You're lowering your own value without her even realizing why. You might think that letting things go makes you more appealing, but the truth is that it only weakens your position. You must stand firm. Call out the disrespect. Calmly, with confidence, set the standard. This isn't about being aggressive, it's about showing strength, and most importantly, about respecting yourself enough to demand that respect in return. The moment you begin to do this, you send a clear message. I am a man of worth. I demand respect, and I will not settle for less. And here's the paradox. The very act of you standing up for yourself makes her feel safer, more attracted, and strangely, more feminine around you. This is the path of wisdom, as Epictetus would say. Self-control is strength. Right thought is mastery. Calmness is power. It's not about being reactive. It's about maintaining your composure and confidence no matter the situation. If you've ever noticed these subtle moments of disrespect, drop the word noticed in the comments below. These micro moments reveal everything about the dynamics between you and her. They tell you whether you're truly commanding respect or merely waiting for it. When you take the lead in these moments, you're not just showing strength, you're demonstrating that you know how to win, how to lead, how to thrive. This is the foundation of Stoicism. Win. The ability to stay composed, firm, and unyielding in your principles. So, remember this. Let nothing slide. Set to the boundary. Command the respect you deserve. And you'll see, she'll begin to see you differently. Because when you respect yourself, you make her feel safe, drawn, and captivated by your strength. You've just unlocked the power of the respect reflex. 4. The no apology rule. In the world of dating and relationships, there's one critical rule that many men fail to realize: the power of the no apology rule. Saying no without guilt is an incredibly attractive trait. The psychological twist here is simple yet profound. How you say no is far more important than how often you say yes. When you decline something, whether it's a social gathering, an invitation, or even an expectation placed on you, do it firmly, politely, and without over-explaining. There's no need to soften your refusal with 5 unnecessary sentences or apologize for setting a boundary. A simple, "No, I won't be able to make it," is enough. When you deliver your response this way, you send a powerful, silent message. I trust myself. That confidence, that certainty in your own decisions, is rare. And let me tell you, rarity is sexy. This is where Stoic rules come into play. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught that the key to a peaceful and fulfilled life is mastering your own mind and controlling what you can. You must never apologize for asserting your boundaries because it signals to others that you are a man of conviction and self-assurance. It's a practical stoicism that demands respect. In modern life, most men are taught to please others, to say yes as often as possible to avoid conflict. They twist themselves into knots trying to fit into every situation, but this only leads to burnout and frustration. The man who says no with poise and confidence does not fear losing approval. In fact, he gains respect. The key here is not to be rude or dismissive. It's to be firm and unapologetic about your own choices. When you take ownership of your decisions, People are drawn to you because it shows that you are someone who knows what he wants and isn't afraid to protect his time and energy. Imagine a man who says no without hesitation, without any need for validation or permission. That man commands the room. He is the one people trust and look up to. Contrast that with the man who is always bending over backward to be liked, who says yes to everything, even when it's at the cost of his own needs and desires. That man, despite his efforts to fit in, is often overlooked and undervalued because his lack of boundaries signals insecurity. You must understand that establishing boundaries is not just a practical matter, it's a psychological one. Women, in particular, are drawn to men who can assert their needs and stand firm in their decisions. It's an indication of strength, self-control, and emotional intelligence. You must adopt the mindset of practical stoicism, where you understand that your time, energy, and resources are finite. You cannot afford to give them away freely to anyone who asks. Saying no doesn't make you selfish or uncaring. It makes you strong and wise. In fact, it's only by practicing this rule consistently that you can create the space to live authentically, to engage in relationships that nourish you, and to devote yourself to the pursuits that truly matter. Remember, your worth isn't determined by how many people you please or how often you say yes. Your value is determined by your ability to prioritize your own life and desires. So the next time you're asked to do something you don't want to, stand tall, say no, and trust in the quiet power that comes with asserting your boundaries. This, my friend, is the path of the Stoic man, a man who is in full control of his life, and by extension, the attention of those around him. If you want to master the art of boundaries and gain the respect you deserve, drop a comment right now. I am the man who knows when to say no. Like this video, subscribe for more powerful insights, and always remember, true strength comes from knowing your limits. 5. The calm test. Lead instead of react. Men who cultivate the iron mind are often those who don't just react impulsively to the world around them, but lead from a place of deep composure and wisdom. This is the essence of the Old Stoic principles: staying steady, grounded, and unshaken in the face of provocation. Here's where most men fail without even realizing it. A woman may throw a tease, a bit of sarcasm, or a mild jab to see how you respond. It's not about the words, but how you handle the energy behind them. Do you snap, react defensively, or retreat into silence? Or do you stand firm, unshaken, and respond with calmness, maybe even with a subtle smirk, showing that you're in control of your emotions and not easily ruffled? That's power, real power. As Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Emotional control doesn't mean you become cold or indifferent. It means you are centered. You know yourself so well, and you trust yourself so deeply that nothing can move you off your path. When a woman sees that you are unflappable, that you won't buckle under pressure or be provoked by petty distractions, she will respect you. She will recognize that you are a man who can lead not only in moments of calm, but also in the chaos. This is the power of emotional control and the strength of Stoic principles in action. The calm test is more than a test of patience. It is a test of leadership. By leading instead of reacting, you show her that you are a man who stands firm in his principles, someone who can be trusted to maintain stability even in turbulent moments. This will naturally spark her curiosity about what other areas of your life you have mastered. Will you let the little things control you, or will you choose to rise above? By taking the path of calmness, you not only build respect, but you also demonstrate the iron mind that Stoic wisdom emphasizes. So remember, don't react, lead with your calm, and watch how it transforms your interactions with women and with life. This is a principle that resonates deeply with the Stoic mindset. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This is your chance to break free from the average response and to embody the strength of true leadership. The next time she tests you, stand firm, lead, don't follow. Show that you are a man of substance, one who understands the old Stoic teachings and lives by them. And as always, share your thoughts in the comments. How do you keep your cool under pressure? And what other Stoic principles do you live by? 6. The Mission First Code. In the Paths of Wisdom, as Epictetus once said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This truth cuts to the core of the mission-first mindset that every man must adopt if he desires to captivate, not just any woman, but the woman who aligns with his purpose. The mission-first code is more than a strategy, it's a way of life. A man with a clear, unyielding mission becomes magnetic, not by chasing, but by focusing on the one thing that gives his life meaning. This is the key, the mission. This is what you wake up for. This is the reason you sacrifice. This is what you fight for. The more you keep that mission front and center, the more you project a power that is both rare and irresistible. Women want purpose. They don't want to be your whole life. They want to join something bigger than themselves. And when you are driven by something greater, when you are a man on a mission, she will naturally want to be a part of that journey. The journey is already in motion, and she sees it. She feels it. She doesn't want to become the mission. She wants to orbit around it, to contribute to its force. As you focus on your path, you become the gravity, she the orbit. That shift, that subtle yet profound shift in perspective, is the dividing line between the men who merely date women and the men who remain in their minds long after the date is over. Don't just exist in a relationship. Be the force that attracts, not by desperation or need, but by the strength of your purpose and the clarity of your mission. It is in this space, the space where your mission comes first, that you embody the Stoic wisdom that turns women on. Strength, resolve, and direction. It is this stoicism that draws them in and makes them desire to be a part of what you've already started. Women don't chase weakness. They chase strength. They chase purpose. They chase the man who knows where he's going and doesn't need anyone to validate his path. Your mission will not only define your life, but will make you a man. Women are unable to resist because they know you are not theirs to control. Instead, you are the man they want to support, follow, and be part of. When you commit to this mindset, you are not just living in accordance with ancient wisdom, you are winning. It is the path to true mastery. Every man who has ever walked the path of wisdom, from Epictetus to Marcus Aurelius, has known this. The strength of your mission is what ultimately defines the strength of your attraction. So keep that mission alive, make it your obsession, and watch as everything else falls into place. Women don't just want a man, they want a mission. And when you embody that, you embody power. You embody the essence of what makes men irresistible. That's how you turn women on. That's how you become the man they can't stop thinking about. This is the power of Stoicism. This is the power of purpose. This is how you win. The path is yours. Don't hesitate. Move forward. And if you find today's content very interesting, please give me a word of encouragement by commenting "very interesting" in the comments section. That is a huge motivation for us. Thank you. 7. The self-care standard. A man who prioritizes his physical, emotional, and mental well-being is undeniably attractive, but this goes far beyond merely hitting the gym or obsessing over constant self-improvement. The truth is, it's about cultivating a lifestyle that demonstrates you value yourself enough to invest in your health, your mind, and your personal growth. Women are drawn to men who take care of themselves because it signals that they have control over their life. It shows that you're not only capable of managing your own existence, but also of managing others. When you set the boundary that you won't compromise your well-being for anyone or anything, it speaks volumes about your character. This is not simply a preference or a luxury. It is a necessity. You send a powerful message that you are grounded, resilient, and strong. You understand the core of Old Stoic wisdom, prioritizing your health, guarding your peace, and refusing to be swayed by the noise around you. There's a deep psychological element to this. Women are drawn to men who can exhibit calm and focus under pressure because it is rare and it is powerful. This doesn't mean that you're obsessed with fitness or endlessly chasing after self-improvement like a never-ending race. It means you understand the true value of self-care in all aspects of your life. You know that a healthy body and mind are the foundations of a successful and happy life. Women are attracted to men who respect themselves enough to put their well-being first, and they feel drawn to the security that comes with knowing that a man who prioritizes his own health will be able to handle the emotional and physical demands of a relationship with ease. It's about balance. You must protect your energy and your time, and not allow anyone or anything to disrupt your sense of self or peace. As the philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." By setting boundaries that protect your well-being, you're demonstrating the wisdom of the Stoic principles, the ability to respond to life's challenges with poise, control, and unwavering resolve. Think about it. Imagine a man who's constantly at the mercy of external pressures, whether it's work, relationships, or society's expectations. His energy is scattered, his health is neglected, and his emotional state is volatile. It's exhausting to be around someone who can't manage their own well-being, and it's even more draining to be with someone who doesn't know how to take care of themselves. Women are deeply drawn to men who possess an iron mind, the ability to stay focused, grounded, and calm, no matter what chaos surrounds them. This kind of mental fortitude is the essence of the Old Stoic way of life. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." It's this mindset that women find not only attractive, but magnetic. Men who show they can maintain control of their thoughts and emotions in a world that constantly throws challenges at them are powerful. When you set a boundary that you will never compromise your health, peace, or self-respect for anyone or anything, you create a powerful aura of confidence that is inherently appealing. It's not about being selfish. It's about making sure you're the best version of yourself before you can offer anything to anyone else. You can't pour from an empty cup. And when you're a man who knows this, who consistently takes the time to invest in himself, mentally, physically, and emotionally, you become someone who commands respect. This is the essence of Stoic principles, self-discipline, self-control, and the relentless pursuit of inner peace. It's the realization that the most important relationship you will ever have is with yourself, and it is from this foundation that all other relationships must be built. You are your greatest asset, and when you set boundaries to protect that, you signal to the world that you know your worth. Women are attracted to men who have an iron will and know how to stand firm in their values. This strength is magnetic. It's not about arrogance or dominance, but about having the emotional and mental fortitude to withstand the storms that life will throw at you. It's about proving that no matter how difficult life gets, you will not break. As a man, you must not allow yourself to be compromised by external influences or the expectations of others. The boundaries you set for yourself aren't walls to isolate you from the world. They are shields that protect your peace, your mental clarity, and your overall well-being. These boundaries make you a man who is not easily swayed, and that's the kind of man women find not just attractive, but irresistibly compelling. When you embody the wisdom of Old Stoic teachings, you live a life where every action, every decision, and every thought is aligned with your core values. You develop an iron mind, a mind that refuses to be disturbed by external chaos and distractions. Your commitment to maintaining peace, staying strong, and never compromising your health or self-respect sends a clear message that you are in control of your life. That is an incredibly powerful thing to have in the world today, and women can sense it. It's the kind of strength they admire and seek in a partner. So, take the time every day to prioritize yourself. Don't wait for someone else to take care of your well-being. Remember, as the Stoics believed, the only true power lies in controlling what is within your grasp, your mind, your body, and your emotions. Do not let external forces take that away from you. 8. The loyalty line. Loyalty is not merely about being faithful. It goes deeper, reflecting your commitment to your values, your beliefs, and the people you care about. It is the bedrock upon which trust is built, and it radiates a magnetic aura that is impossible to ignore. When you stand firm in your convictions, when you honor your word and your principles, you create a sense of stability and security that draws people to you. This is the essence of what makes loyalty so powerful, particularly for women. They are attracted to men who demonstrate unwavering loyalty, not just in relationships, but to their family, friends, and the causes they stand for. In a world full of uncertainty and shifting allegiances, a man who can be counted on, who stands his ground with integrity, becomes a rare gem. This quality is far more than a simple moral trait. It's a living, breathing testament to your character. The strength of your loyalty signals to the world, and especially to women, that you are a man who will stand by them come what may. What many fail to recognize is that loyalty is intricately linked to the concept of Stoicism. The Stoic rules emphasize the importance of maintaining your values, especially in the face of adversity. Practical Stoicism teaches that we should not allow external events or people to dictate our actions or beliefs. Instead, we must be steadfast in our loyalty to our own principles. This isn't about blind devotion or stubbornness. It's about exercising discipline and remaining true to what you believe is right, regardless of the circumstances. Women can sense this kind of strength. They don't just see loyalty as a promise, they see it as a reflection of a man's inner fortitude. It's not about saying the right words, it's about embodying those words, day in and day out. When you practice Stoicism and live by these rules, you become a man who is not easily swayed by the chaos of life. In relationships, this consistency is invaluable. It's what makes you not just a good partner, but a reliable one. Women are drawn to men who are solid, who don't flinch when the winds of change blow. They appreciate men who act with intention, who prioritize their integrity above fleeting pleasures, and loyalty is a clear signal of this. It shows that you are someone who values depth and authenticity, and you are not afraid to fight for what matters to you. Moreover, loyalty is deeply connected to a sense of self-respect and discipline. When you are loyal to your own values, you are telling the world that you are a man who knows who he is. You don't need external validation to define your worth. This sense of self-assurance is incredibly attractive. It's not about being perfect, but about owning your decisions and being responsible for them. Women find strength in a man who is unapologetically himself, who doesn't waver under pressure or sacrifice his principles for convenience. This is where Stoic wisdom shines through. By focusing on what is within your control and maintaining your personal integrity, you become a source of strength and stability for those around you. But let's be clear. Loyalty doesn't mean sacrificing your own needs or identity for the sake of others. It doesn't mean being a doormat, nor does it mean blindly following others. It's about balance, knowing when to put your foot down and when to show compassion. You have to protect your values while also understanding the needs of those you care about. This is where practical Stoicism becomes a guiding principle. Stoicism isn't about ignoring emotions or relationships. It's about embracing the power of choice and focusing on what is truly important. It's about being able to distinguish between what you can control and what you can't, and showing loyalty to what you can. In modern life, we are constantly bombarded with distractions and shifting trends. It's easy to lose sight of what truly matters, our integrity, our values, and our commitments. But when you remain loyal to what you believe in, you stand out in a world that often feels chaotic and unreliable. Women find this kind of consistency irresistible. They appreciate a man who stays grounded in his values, who doesn't jump on every bandwagon or chase after every fleeting desire. Loyalty, in this sense, is about more than just your relationship with others. It's about your relationship with yourself. So, if you want to be a man who attracts the right kind of attention, you must cultivate the loyalty that resonates through every aspect of your life. Start by committing to your values, by being a man of integrity. Don't just speak the words, live them. Show the world that you stand by your principles, no matter the challenges you face. Practice Stoicism by focusing on what you can control, by keeping your promises, and by remaining unwavering in your beliefs. When you do this, you'll not only become a man of integrity, but you'll also become a man who others, especially women, can trust, respect, and desire. The strength of your loyalty will become your greatest asset, turning you into a beacon of stability in a world full of uncertainty. And remember, loyalty isn't just about others. It's about loyalty to yourself, your journey, and your commitment to personal growth. Embrace these Stoic rules, live by them, and watch how they transform your life and relationships. 9. The independence ideal. Let me make this clear. Independence is the cornerstone of attraction. The modern world doesn't value dependence. Women are drawn to men who stand strong, men who walk their own path, carving out their own future, untouched by the need for constant validation. A man who has his own goals, his own dreams, and his own life, apart from his relationship, radiates a unique energy. He isn't seeking approval from anyone. That's the power of independence. Remember what Epictetus, one of the great minds in Stoicism, once said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." In other words, a man who isn't constantly trying to control how others perceive him is a man who stands as his true self. Women gravitate toward men who don't need constant reassurance. They admire men who can live fully without the crutch of external validation. This is where many men go wrong. They think their worth is determined by others' approval, that if they aren't seeking attention, they'll be forgotten. Nothing could be further from the truth. The more a man tries to win attention, the more he seems needy, desperate, and weak. Women can sense that weakness, and women want no part in it. They are drawn to the man who doesn't need them to feel whole. Independence isn't about being cold or distant. No, it's about creating space for yourself, showing that you have your own ambitions, your own hobbies, your own life. And yes, you share it with the world, but you don't rely on anyone to define you. You make it clear that you are already complete. The modern man knows that validation is something you earn within yourself, not something you chase. Take a moment and reflect. Are you a man who spends his days thinking about how others view you? Are you consumed with seeking approval from the world around you? The path to wisdom, as Epictetus taught, lies in letting go of those external validations and becoming your own source of strength. Be a man who stands alone, a man who values his own opinion above all else. Women are attracted to men who are free, men who have nothing to prove. In our chaotic, hyper-connected world, it's easy to fall into the trap of dependency, to tie your worth to likes, comments, and the approval of others. But don't fall for it. A man who seeks constant attention only weakens his position. A true man of power, a man who walks the path of wisdom, stands solid in his independence. He doesn't need a woman to complete him. He needs no one to validate him. He is already whole. And when a woman sees this, when she sees a man who doesn't need her to feel powerful, that is when she becomes intrigued. That is when she feels the undeniable pull of attraction. Because women don't want to be someone's crutch. They want to stand beside a man who can stand tall without them. You see, the power of independence lies in respect. When a man is independent, he not only respects his own boundaries, but he also respects the woman's boundaries. He doesn't smother her or demand her attention. He allows her to breathe and to live her own life. This is a man who understands that freedom is the key to any healthy relationship, and that respect is earned through understanding and valuing the space both partners need. What this means is clear. Don't seek constant approval. Don't depend on others for validation. Instead, build your life, your own dreams, your own goals. Follow your path, walk with confidence, and let the world watch you rise. And remember, a man who walks in the wisdom of the Stoics, a man who holds fast to his independence, will always be more attractive than a man who clings to the approval of others. The path to wisdom and true power is simple. Become a man who needs no one to define him. When you are self-sufficient, emotionally stable, and full of purpose, you become a force that no one can ignore. You become the man women admire, respect, and desire. I want you to remember this. Independence is not just a trait. It's a way of life. It's an unshakable belief in your worth, a conviction that you are enough just as you are, and that no one else's opinion matters. When you stand on your own, you are not only respected by women, but you command respect from everyone around you. The path of wisdom is where this begins, and the Stoics, like Epictetus, understood this deeply. The only true freedom is to be in control of yourself, to need no one else's approval to be content. So, embrace it. Become that man. Walk your path with confidence. You will see the world change around you. You will see women drawn to your strength, your independence, and your wisdom. Remember, the man who needs no one is the man who wins it all. Be the man who doesn't seek approval. Be the man who walks in the strength of his own convictions. You must be that man. And when you do, you will see that women will follow. They'll respect you, they'll desire you, and most importantly, they'll never leave. That's the power of independence. That's the path to wisdom. And that's the path to winning. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. I hope you found these insights valuable and can start applying them to set stronger boundaries in your life. Remember, every boundary you set is a message. It says, I know who I am, and I'm not afraid to lose what doesn't respect that. That kind of masculine energy isn't just attractive, it's unforgettable. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these boundaries hit hardest for you? Drop a comment below and let me know. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more straight-up dating psychology. Until next time, set the standard, protect your frame, and own the moment. Take care.